why are all the main Treepies fangirls?
Number 18.
Uh,
Do you want to go, or?
I'll go. Number 18, Chrono's complaint. The less the main character talks, the more words are put into his mouth, and therefore the more trouble he gets into through no fault of his own.
Story of Link's life.
Story of Chrono's life.
That's why it's called the Chronos complaint.
Dare I say Shining Force?
Never played that game.
No? It's like the classic of strategy RPGs. You've got to play it.
Number 19.
Well, at least play Shining Force 2. That's the really good one.
Number 19.
No, oh, sorry.
It's
Solaris
my
needs
turn,
to Solaris needs to shut the fuck up and stop cutting people off.
Number
Okay.
19. Silly Squall, bringing a sword to a gunfight. No matter what time frame the game is in, past, present, or future, the main hero and his antagonist will both use swords for a weapon. Therefore, you can identify your antagonist pretty easily right from the start of the game, just by looking for the other guy who uses the sword. These swords will be far more powerful than any gun, and often capable of distance attacks.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, damn it! I'm just gonna say Star Wars.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Number 20. Just nod your head and smile. And no matter how big that big-ass sword is, you won't stand out in a crowd. Nobody crosses the street to avoid you or seems to be especially shocked or alarmed when a heavily armed gang bursts into the house during dinner, rummages through their possessions, and demands to know if they've seen a black-caped man. People can get used to anything, apparently.
I would also like to insert a rule of my own at this point. Rule 20.5. No matter how big your sword is, it does not require a sheath.
Maybe it's in here.
It will hang on your back with no support whatsoever.
Zack.
Cloud.
Dante. Nero.
Anyone who uses a sword as big as they are, Ichigo.
Cloud actually did get a sheath in Advent Children. I will give him props for that. 20.75. Your sword will always vanish when you put it away.
It goes into the hammer space.
Yes, indeed.
For anyone not knowing what the hammer space is, it was originally turned by who? Was it N-Time or FTA? I can't remember. But it was...
Actually, the hammer space term has been around for a very long time. Actually.
Oh, well, I just heard it first from them, so I don't
know. I heard it when I was into like anime fan fiction and stuff way back when I was really little. It is the place where all those invisible hammers that anime characters like Misty pull their hammers, and yeah, it's been used more or less. I use the term to describe that pocket where RPG characters store their infinite supplies of items. You know, the 99 high potions you have stocked up because you had so much money that you could buy out the store. But next rule, please.
Number 21. Heiresses Culinary. Just as
Corollary. Your grammar makes me cry.
Nuclear!
Heiresses Corollary. Just as the main male character will always use a sword or a variant of a sword, the main female character will always use a rod or staff. Unless, you know, you're Tifa.
No, because Final Fantasy VII had Eris.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying unless you're Tifa.
Well, yes. Well, either that or they have extremely large breasts. But let's check off the list, shall we? We have Eris, we have Yuna, we have Garnet, we have let's see.
Well, what's her face in Golden Sun?
Well, you know what? I can't name anyone from 12 because they can use whatever the fuck weapon they want, and it doesn't matter. Oh yes, and Cecilia from Wild Arms. Those are the ones that come to my mind.
Pretty much no one from Chrono Trigger uses a staff or rod. Marley has a fucking crossbow, and Luca has a gun. And Ayla uses her fist.
Give the game props for originality.
Moving on.
Alright. Number 22, the MacGyver Rule. Other than for the protagonist, your choice of weapons is not limited to the Proziac guns, clubs, or swords. Given appropriate skills, you can cut a bloody swath across the continent using gloves, combs, umbrellas, megaphones, dictionaries, sketching tablets, you name it. You can kill with it. Even better, no matter how surreal your choice of armament, whatever the hell, every store you pass will just happen to stock an even better model of it for a very reasonable price. Who else is running around the world killing people with an umbrella?
Princess Peach.
I will. I do take one issue with that rule. A very reasonable price, indeed. Don't think so. A very unreasonable price, considering how absurd the weapon is.
Number 23. O brother, where art thou? Also known as the Matthysse Rule. If the main male hero has an older sibling, the sibling will also be male and will turn out to be one of the major villains. If the hero has a younger sibling, the sibling will be a female and will be kidnapped and held hostage by the villains. Link's sister in Wind Waker.
Gender rules in a nutshell. Okay, I guess I'll do the next one. 24. Capitalism is a harsh mistress. Once you sell something to a shopkeeper, he instantly sells it to somebody else, and you will never see the item again, no matter what. Damn them.
Pretty much applies to every store and every
Damn
RPG.
them. Well, Oblivion will keep your items in stock when you sell them, so I do give them props for that.
Okay. Number 25. Dimensional transcendence principle. Buildings are much, much larger on the inside than on the outside. And that doesn't even count with the secret maze of tunnels behind the clock in the basement.
Also known as Eggman Space.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, yes. Bowser's Castle, anyone?
As well as Wily's Fortress.
Yes, and we're not even into the RPGs yet. But crash!
Number 26, the local control rule. Although the boss monster terrorizing the Fifth City in the game is less powerful than the non-boss monsters that are only casual nuisances to cities later in the game, nobody from the Fifth City ever thinks of hiring a few mercenaries from the later cities to kill the monster.
What was that, a shitty Arnold Schwarzenegger impression?
No, I'm trying to do the voice of the announcer from the Final Fantasy VII Flash tune. Random battles.
Okay, I have no idea what that is, but yes,
Look
that.
it up.
Number 27. The Nostradamus rule. All legends are 100% accurate. All rumors are entirely factual. All prophecies will come true, and not just someday, but almost immediately.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, number 28, which is simply called IDKFA. The basic ammunition for any firearms your character have is either unlimited or very, very easy to obtain. This will apply even if firearms are extremely rare. Wild Arms, I don't actually remember it being that easy, but otherwise, yeah. I mean, where the fuck does Barrett keep all of his bullets? Up his ass?
The hammer space.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Number
Next.
20. Number 29.
Shut up, Solaris.
Number 29. Indestructible weapon rule. No matter how many times you use the sword to strike armed targets, or fire that gun on full auto mode, it will never break, jam, or need any form of maintenance unless it is critical to the story that the weapon breaks, jams, or needs maintenance.
Oh, ain't it the truth, ain't it the truth.
Also known as the Star Wars rule, where things conveniently go wrong at the worst possible moment.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's a rule later on down this list.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Okay. Number 30. Selective paralysis. Your characters must always keep both feet on the ground and will be unable to climb over low rock ledges, railings, chairs, cats, slightly different colored ground, or any other trivial objects which may happen to be in their way. Note that this condition will not prevent your character from jumping from a railroad car to a railroad car later in the game.
Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
Indeed. Number 31. Bed, bed, bed. A good night's sleep will cure all wounds, diseases, and disabilities, up to and including death in battle.
That is one kick-ass bed.
Pokemon comes to mind. Because it doesn't matter if you have every Pokemon in your party fainted and your last guy at 1 HP, just going home and lying in bed for a while will cure all of them.
Uh,